And on that note of relax and restore, that's exactly what I have planned for us tonight, a nice restorative yoga practice. So a couple of things to talk about first. First, restorative yoga is a passive form of yoga. If you haven't done it with me before, it's absolutely lovely. We'll use props that you can find around your house to support yourself as you lay down in certain postures, relax in certain postures, and we'll hold them for a while. And so, what you'll need around your house, the props that I'm talking about, are really simple and 9.9 chances out of 10, you have all of them pretty close by. So the first thing you'll need are two regular bed pillows. I literally pulled these off my bed. There's nothing special about them other than that they're comfortable. So you'll need two of those, and then you'll need one or two kind of thick blankets, like a throw blanket for your couch or for your bed is perfect. So take the next few moments and just go gather those things. And if you're back already, we're going to move into our centering practice. If you're still rounding things up from around your house, just keep moving at your own pace, and you can just join us when you get back. All right. So if you are back, go ahead and sit comfortably. Just let your eyes close for a moment. And we'll just start by being aware of the present moment, not the future, not the past, but right now, the present moment. And one of the best ways to ground into the present moment is through the awareness of your breath. It's the most present thing that you can focus on most of the time. This inhale and this exhale. Now, once you ground into the breath here, you're aware of the breath. I'd like you to slow the breath on down. Take your time as you sip in breath through the nostrils on inhale, not rushing it. And take your time as you allow the breath to seep out of the nostrils on exhale. Slow breath in, slow breath out. When we slow down the breath intentionally like this, it actually helps to slow down the movements of your mind. Now, here, as we approach the holidays and the end of the year and all that comes with that, our minds can be quite active, quite busy, and even quite stressed. So, by slowing down the breath, we help to just rein in the movement of the consciousness. Slow breath in and out. And as we take just a few more of these slow breaths, I'd like you just to set the intention that for the next hour or so, as we're practicing, that you can give yourself permission to slow down. If only for this hour, you have the permission to slow down. And at certain times, even stop. Good. Please bring your palms to your heart and lower your chin. Honor yourself as you are in this moment, body, breath, energy, and mind. And it's from this place within you that we will rest tonight. Go ahead and rub the palms together, creating heat. And take those warm palms over your eyes, brushing over the top of the head, down the neck, bringing yourself back to the space around you. Welcome back. Good. So just if you haven't done this with me before, just to let you know how we'll do this is that I'll demonstrate a posture, then we'll practice it, then we'll come back up. I'll demonstrate the next posture, we'll practice it, come back up, rinse and repeat. All right. So for the first one, we are going to do a lovely back bend, and you will need both of your bed pillows for this one. Okay. So eventually I'll come to lay down with my head on this side of my yoga mat. Okay. And so I'm going to bring both pillows to that side of the mat. And there's the open side of the pillowcase. There's a closed side. I have both closed sides stacked on top of each other, and the closed side is pointing toward the center of the yoga mat. All right. Now, this might be all you need. You also may want to take that blanket of yours and bring it to where your head will be. Okay. And so I'll demonstrate what that looks like now. I'm going to come to bring my back to the pillows. And the pillows are pretty close to my hips. Maybe there's like a hand's thickness between my hips and the pillows. I'm going to press down on the pillows closest to me. And then I'm just going to recline down over them. And you can adjust the blanket to be more where it supports your head if you'd like to. Now, from here, a couple things you can do. The first, I'm going to ask you to take the arms out to the sides, palms face up, and this just allows the chest to open. Now, from the waist down, you can just extend the legs forward. It's kind of like a more of a back bend version of corpse pose or shavasana. And we're just going to hang out here for a little bit, all right? So if you're already here, go ahead and stay here. If you, I'll walk you through the steps again. You're going to stack both pillows on top of each other. You're going to have them pointing toward the top of your mat, coming to sit behind the pillows, press them down, and then slowly recline down over the pillows and maybe have a blanket folded underneath your head if you need it. Okay. Arms coming out to the sides, palms face up, the shoulders kind of slacking back toward the floor. And from the waist down, just extending the legs forward. Maybe have your heels about the width of your mat apart, so nice and wide apart. Toes flopping out to the sides, the hips can relax open. And then fidget for a moment and just find your comfort in this posture. It's worth it to make sure that you're as comfortable as you can here. Feeling the front of your body start to open because we're still stretching. We're still practicing yoga, but it's passive stretching. The least you effort here, the less you effort, the further you'll go. So relax any gripping, holding, or effort in your body. As your body continues to relax here, I want you to again slow the breath down. Take your time as you breathe. Take your time as you exist. Again, this is the time to slow down. This is the time to rest. Slowing down your breath. relaxing the effort in the body. And we'll stay in this pose for about another minute or so. Continue just to soften, to relax, and to slow down. Letting gravity pull you deeper into this back bend. And the first movement from this pose will simply be the thought of movement, mentally preparing yourself that you're about to shift your body. The second movement is a slight deepening of your breath, just bringing more breath in and out. And then to come out of this pose, go ahead and reach back and grab the back of your head just to support your neck, and slowly roll yourself up to a seat. Take your time with that transition and just feel sensation for a moment. Good. I know you wanted me to keep you there longer, but we have a few more things to do tonight. I just want to name for this last posture that we did. It's a great one to counterpose sitting, creating some length in the front of the body when we're hunched over a bunch, typing, clacking, whatever we're doing. It just helps to bring our spine into the opposite position. Okay. So, and then one more thing too, as well, that all the postures I'm going to offer tonight are things that you can just pick out of the sequence and do anytime. So if you'd like something, do practice it whenever you feel is right for you. Okay. So I'm going to ask you to keep your pillows stacked for this next one. And you can keep them where they're at just for orientation. And I'll show you what I mean by that. So I'm going to come to sit in front of the pillows again, and my feet are going to be as wide apart as my yoga mat. And I'm sitting up nice and tall. And then I'm going to knock my knees to the right and spin around to start to look either to the side or at a diagonal behind me. Now from here, I'll slide the pillows over so they're kind of shooting straight out of the hip. If I'm turning to the right, they're shooting out to the right. And then I'll compress the pillows close to me. And just like the last one, just drape the body down over the pillows. This feels nice. Now, for the head placement, you can have the head turned to, I guess it's the left in this case, but in that direction. And this will probably be easiest on the neck. If you have the rotation in your spine and it feels good for you, you can turn the chin all the way to the right. Okay. So that's what we'll do. And let's all go to the right just so that the instructions make sense. If you're already there, stay there. But if you're not, go ahead and sit tall, feet about mat width apart again. Go ahead and knock the knees to the right, rock up onto the hip, turn to look behind you, slide the pillow stack, shooting diagonally to the right. Compress the pillows down closest to you and start to drape the abdomen and then the chest down over the pillows. You can cross your arms in front if you'd like to and just bring the side of the head to the pillow, either looking forward or looking backwards, right? And just like the first side, take a few moments to find some comfort in this pose. Adjust if you need to. And then find yourself relaxing in stillness or steadiness. This restorative twist, relax effort. And again, slow down the breath. Feel your body sink deeper into the support of the pillows. Staying here for one more minute. And so mentally preparing yourself to shift. When you're ready, deepen your breath. And take your time coming out of this pose. Take a couple of breaths to do it at least. Bringing the hands to the floor and peeling yourself off the pillows. And taking your time as you unwind back to a seat. Good. So I'm just turning around on my mat for camera's sake, so I'm facing you as much as possible. But you can keep facing the direction you're in right now. Have the feet about mat width apart. And just for a sense of ease, move your pillows back to the center behind you, just so that you can grab them once we twist, okay? And then sitting up tall, go ahead and knock the knees to the left, rock up onto your left hip, and then slide those pillows to shoot out diagonally from your left hip. Slide the pillows to your body, compress them down, and begin to slowly drape the belly, the ribs, and chest down over to do the twist on this side, okay? Now, just like the first side, when you get there, adjust. Make any movements you need to. You can come back up and move the pillows around if you want. Find as much comfort here as you can. And then find some stillness. And like before, slow down the breath, slow down the mind. Remaining here for about 1 more minute. mentally preparing yourself to move. And when you're ready, deepening your breath. And like the first side, take your time, several breaths, as you begin to come out, sliding the hands back to the floor, straightening the arms, and slowly unwinding to a seat. And just feel sensation. Believe it or not, there's more. So you will need both pillows again. This little pillow stack here thing goes a long way in this work. And you're going to stack the pillows at the very center of your mat. Turn this around. There we go. Now we're going to do a lateral stretch here. And so I'm going to come bring like the center of my hip to the center of the pillows. And so when I come to lay down, my shoulder can come to the floor and my legs extend down as well. And there's a slight rise of the pelvis here, creating some length, in this case, on the left side of my body. Now, a couple of things once you get here. The first is you can keep the legs stacked if that feels comfortable. If it just feels uneasy, you can bring one leg forward or back or kind of scissor the legs a little bit to create some stability. Now, for the head, you can bring one of your blankets on top of the bottom arm just to bring your neck into better alignment. Okay? Your hand, the free one, the left hand in this case, can go to the floor in front of you for stability. It could rest on your side. Some people like to take the arm all the way overhead and just hang out here. Okay? You have your options. If you're here already, stay here. If you're not, I'll walk you through the steps. Again, stacking the pillows at the very center of your mat. Just come in to bring the center of the hip to the center of the pillows and start to drape your body down, bringing your shoulder and the right side of your rib cage, in this case, to the floor. I didn't say which side we were working on, but just make sure the bottom rib cage is on the floor. Okay. Now you can bring that blanket on top of the bottom arm to bring some support for your head. Now from here, it's up to you what you want to do. You can just stay here if you'd like to, left hand on the floor, legs stacked. You could separate the feet a little bit for stability. The left hand could rest on your left side. You could even take the arm overhead and just relax here if you'd like to. But make adjustments so that you can be comfortable. And then find stillness and find that slow breath. Remaining here for about 1 more minute. Slow breath in, slow breath out. Mentally preparing yourself to move. Beginning to deepen your breath. And then slowly begin to bring yourself out of the pose. Coming on up. Now, what you may have noticed from that posture is that even though, with the compression of your body on the pillows, your hips weren't raised that high off the ground, but you still felt a stretch on that side of the body. And so we're going to even that out by doing the other side. I'm just going to flip to the other side again. So I'm facing you, but you can just turn to the other side if you want to. And again, just going to come to bring the center of your hip to the center of the pillow stack and recline down, bringing the rib cage and shoulder to the floor. Good. You bring that folded blanket on top of the arm if you want to. Good. And then decide what you want to do with the rest of your body. You can separate the feet a little bit here if you need to. Your right hand or the hand that's free can be on the floor in front of you. It could be rest on your right side. Again, it could also go overhead, just relaxing on top of the head. And it doesn't have to be the same thing you did on the first side. Just pick what feels good. And then when you've made those adjustments, when you shifted a little bit, just find some stillness here. And slow down your breath. About one more minute. Mentally preparing yourself to move. Begin to take a deeper, fuller breath. And slowly begin to bring yourself back up. Take your time with that. Take all the time you need. I have to be careful doing this with y'all because I'll fall asleep. I'm resting too. So we're going to continue with this pillow stack. It's serving us so well. So keep it in the center of your mat. You might need to shift around a little bit, but just keep it generally in that vicinity. We're going to come to lay down on our backs in a moment. So you may want to have a blanket stack for a pillow, okay? And so this is going to help raise our hips. The last two exercises, or the last exercise, once on each side, was to create extension in the hips. Now we're going to create extension in the front of the hips, which also helps to counterpose sitting, okay? So I'm going to come to sit on the edge of my blanket stack. And so when I come to lay down, my hips will be around the center of the pillow stack. I said blanket stack, I meant pillow stack. Pillow stack. And then I'll recline down, bring that folded blanket underneath my head if I want to, and then take the feet about mat width apart and just let the toes flap out to the side. Now already here I can start to feel an opening in my hip flexors and my pelvis, okay? I'm just gonna hang out here. So if you're here already, stay. If you're not, I'll walk you through it again. You're gonna come to sit on the edge of the pillow stack at the center of your mat and slowly recline yourself down onto your back. Extend the legs, have the heels about mat width apart, toes flapping out. You can have a pillow or a blanket under the head as a pillow. And your arms just come to rest by your sides, palms face up. This lets the shoulders relax as well. And again, it's not that stark of a raise to the hips, it's not that big, but it's big enough to start to open the front of the pelvis, the hips, and provide a little bit of relief to the pressure on the internal organs at the pelvis. Make any final shifting you need to be comfortable here. Find stillness and find your slow, steady, patient breath. Staying here for about 1 more minute. Mentally preparing yourself to move. And take a deeper, fuller breath. And in your own time, maybe roll to a side first before you bring yourself back up. And feel sensation. Good. So again, that last pose is a great one to do to counterpose sitting because the muscles around the pelvis and in the front of the hip flexors get quite tight when we sit. So it's kind of reversing that habitual sitting pattern or that body pattern. Another thing to think about with that one is that there is a slight, just very slight inversion to the pelvis, which again helps to take the pressure off the internal organs around the pelvis. So it can help with digestion in that way. So one thing you may have noticed as you were laying there is that you started to feel some stuff move around. Yes. If you need help with that, this is a great pose to do. All the postures we've done tonight, we've held for about 4 to 6 minutes. So if you do decide to do any of these outside of this session, that's kind of your timer for those, okay? We still have a couple more to do. We still have more time left. So this next one is called Babbling Brook, and it takes a little bit more setup. So just watch me do it first. I'm just going to fix my blanket because it's kind of I've shifted it around so much it's bunching up. There we go. I can be particular sometimes. So I'm going to be laying down on my back. My head is going to be down here. My feet will be down here. So we're going to take apart the pillow stack for now. And I'm going to bring one pillow down toward my feet. And this is going to go to underneath my knees to help take pressure off my lower back. Now with my other pillow, or it could be another blanket, but I'll show you here what we're going to do. I'm going to cut this in half and fold it this way, okay? Now it's not going to want to stay this way for very long. It'll plop back open. So just know that when we come down onto it, this is about what we're going to need it to be. Now, if this ends up being too high for you, you can unfold it and you can still get some reversal of the thoracic curve or do a back bend here. And if that's still too high, you can recline back over a folded blanket instead, okay? But I'll just show you what it is with the pillow chopped in half. So I'm gonna come to sit in the middle of this mess. Get the legs situated first so that the pillow, again, is underneath my knees. Again, this takes pressure off the lower back. Now, I'm just gonna bring this in front of me to make it work. Folding this in half, clenching it with one hand, bring it behind you, about where the middle of your back is. So you don't want it in your lower back, okay? I know that might feel like it's where it should go, but you don't want that. You want it to press into your mid back. So for me, that's going to be about right here. I'll just use my elbows to keep that in place as I recline back down, okay? So you can see here that it's pressing in around my shoulder blades. So not my lower back. My lower back is hollowed out here. It's pressing into my upper back. My arms come out to the side straight out, and then my head is supported by the pillow or by the blanket if I want it, okay? We'll hang out here. If you're here already, stay. If you're not, I'll walk you through it. Again, bringing a blanket or blankets and pillows. Bring a pillow underneath your knees, and then bring the pillow that's going to go behind you, fold it in half lengthwise, and bring it behind you. Just keep it there with your hands or your elbows and recline down over it. Again, it's pressing into your mid to upper back here. So if you need to come up and shift it around, please do. And then your arms extend straight out to the sides, making a T shape with the body, palms pointing toward the ceiling. And you can bring a folded blanket under your head as a pillow here as well. And then make any adjustments, shift around, come back up if you need to and readjust your props. Do what you need to do so that you can be comfortable here as we practice this pose. And then find some stillness. And begin to slow and steady your breath again as well. Remaining here for one more minute. mentally preparing yourself to move. Please begin to deepen your breath. And with a hand, reach behind your head, supporting your neck and head as you roll yourself up to a seat and feel good. So just one more restorative posture, and then we're going to do Shavasana, our final resting posture. And this one's just going to be a forward fold. So I'll give you a couple of options. If you want to, you can just fold here. Keep the pillow where it's at and just hang down over the legs. If you want some support, you can bring that other pillow around, tuck it right up into your belly, and fold over it here. And if that feels like it's too far, you could chop the pillow in half like this, bring it into the belly, and then it'll just keep you supported a little bit more, but you're still folding forward. Okay? So we'll just spend maybe 6 or 7 breaths in this pose, not very long at all. But do breathe and do rest. One more breath. And then with your next inhale, carefully sit up. Good. Whew. So we're going to come to lay down on our backs. You can actually keep the pillow underneath your knees if you'd like to. You can keep that blanket that was your pillow where it was, or you could use the other pillow as a pillow now. And we're just going to recline down onto our backs for a few minutes. Our final resting posture. Come on down and feel your body uncross. If you have a second blanket, you could cover yourself with it now if you'd like. I know it's getting chilly out. And once you've made your adjustments, come to stillness. And this time, don't worry about slowing down the breath. Just let the breath be. Let yourself just be. Just existing as you are. peace, peace, peace. Please begin to take a deeper, fuller breath. Making some gentle movements in your hands and feet, your arms and legs. When you're ready, carefully roll to your right side and slowly coming up to a seat from here. And as you come to a seat again, just feel sensation. How does it feel to have done this practice? It's called restorative yoga. You might already start to feel some of the restorative properties of the practice, feeling calmer, more relaxed, more resourced internally. In the same way that it's helping you to calm, it can also help to give you more energy. You might find tomorrow or later this evening that you have a bit more gas in the tank. Bringing the palms together at your heart, lower the chin, and honor yourself for the rest that you have entertained for yourself this evening. Gratitude for the permission to slow down, the practice of slowing down. And may all of that and this practice continue to serve you. So until next time, namaste.